Hey, hey. Today we are talking about 3 giveaways. Let's see. Share this video. Yes. 3 dead giveaways that you are uncomfortable on camera. So last week we had a really good discussion about fear on camera. And I know a lot of you just have an innate fear of being on camera, and that's what we're trying to get over. So I shared with you 4 ways that you can get over that fear, just sort of like steps to take, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we talked about envisioning the best, getting prepared, and then facing your fear, and then evaluating what came of your performance. But really, with all of those that we talked about last week when we talked about fear, really the only way to get over it is to do it, right? And is that 3rd step, practice. And practice makes perfect. Like anything else, let me make sure, let me know. I still don't know why I can't figure out how to do comments or see comments at the same time. So I think yes, I want to do... Okay, so comment and let me just see. Okay, so today I wanted to share 3 dead giveaways that you can show you are nervous on camera. So when we go back to talking about fear of being on camera, or just being innately nervous of being on camera, which is totally normal. It is not an inherent thing to talk to a camera instead of a real person. It is inherently uncomfortable. Our brains are wired in a way where we crave that human connection, right? So that's also why it's hard to look at a camera lens instead of your own face, which was one of the questions one of you all had last time, was where do I look? It's so hard not to look at myself on the camera instead of the little green light or red light or whatever it is you're supposed to look at, the camera lens. And so your brain's wired in a way where you respond to another human face. Here. So when you are on camera, yes, you should look at the little red light. But if that's hard for you to do when you keep like veering over to look at yourself on camera, one of the things that I said to Deanna was to just put a little piece of paper or Post-it note or something over the camera or the part of your face, so you're not staring at it all the time, if that helps you. Put a little Post-it with an arrow that points right to the camera lens so you know where to look, because that's eye contact, right? And that's what you strive for in public speaking. That's exactly what you should strive for when you are speaking on camera as well. So that was a great question. One of the things... Okay, I can see it over here, but I don't see the comments here. And I thought I switched up everything, so it should work. But anyway, so the 3 giveaways that you are nervous on camera. We talked about how practice makes perfect. And did you see the challenge for this week? I posted a challenge for each of you to try to do, and that is to take a video of yourself talking to the camera just for you to see. You don't have to be live or you don't have to share it with anybody, but try to do it every single day this week. I don't care if you're in the carpool pickup line or if you are, in your closet or wherever you have to do it. This is only for you to see, and so nobody else is going to see it, but it is a great way for you to practice. Maybe you're practicing a presentation for work. Do that on camera, but everybody has a phone and a way to use a camera these days. So if you practice every single day this week, just like 30 seconds getting on, hey, I'm sitting here in the carpool line waiting for my kids. I'm going to talk about this, that, and the other. It's going to get easier. So that practice is what helps. Now, when you are uncomfortable on camera, there are a few telltale signs. And so that's what I wanted to share with you today, and some ways that you can avoid looking uncomfortable. Because for a quick minute there, it is fake it until you make it. You have to fake that confidence on camera sometimes before, because it'll take a while for you to practice to actually have that. So if you have to fake it until you make it, that is fine. But these are some ways that you can avoid some of those signs that people will be able to tell that you're nervous. Okay, so the first one I wanted to talk about is voice. It is a huge indicator of your nerves on camera, and we'll talk a little bit about that. The next one is your eyes. They can tell you so much about a person. And then the third, which you probably understand, is body language, but there are some specific things that you do with your body language that signal that you're uncomfortable. And so we'll talk about each one of those. The first thing is, I hear from a lot of people who say, gosh, I hate how I look on camera. I hate how my voice sounds on camera. And you have to understand that that is completely normal. Nobody likes how they look on camera, and nobody likes how they sound, their recorded voice sounds. And there's a science behind that, which is kind of really interesting. And I'll share some of those links with you too. But it's because of a concept called cognitive dissonance. And so that is when your brain is trying to, put together the fact that what you think is different from reality, right? And so that's a real thing happening in your brain. And so when you see a non-mirrored version of yourself, it's not what you're used to seeing when you look in the mirror, because it's different, right? And so that's why you're just like, do I really look like that when you see yourself on camera? Everybody sees you differently from how you see you, and you are your worst critic, which I think I said last week, but it's true. The second thing is how your voice sounds. How your voice sounds when you're talking, and how you hear your voice is completely different. And there's science behind it. It's because of the reverberation with your voice and how it sounds traveling through your bones and versus through the air. So it is a different voice, and you do sound different on camera than you do in your head, and that's normal. But another thing your brain is trying to figure out is what's really real, and that's why when you see it, it's hard for you to understand. So anyway, that's kind of the Cliff's Notes version of the science behind everything. But let's get to the real meat of the subject, and that is how you can avoid doing these things that'll give you away to looking uncomfortable on camera. First, I'm going to see if I can... Oh, okay. So I can see Deanna's comment here. I first did a live a few years ago. I put a picture of my daughters by the camera slot. That's a great idea, Deanna. Because when you see a face of a person you love, of course, you're going to smile, and it does make you feel a little more comfortable. So that is an excellent tip, and to cover up your own face with the face of somebody that you want to be talking to instead. And that's really helpful. I love that, Deanna. Thanks so much. Okay. So the first thing is your voice, and boy, have I had a time with my voice. Whew. So it has been the bane of my existence for a really long time. My first, let's see if I can see. I want my comments to come up here. Let me see. If I write one, maybe it'll come up, and then the others will come up. I can see my comment. I don't know about yours, but anyway. So first thing is the voice. Okay, so I grew up in Kentucky and moved to New York after college. And so, of course, when I got there, everybody said, oh gosh, what is this accent? You've got this Southern accent. It's crazy. And then I would come home to visit, and everybody at home would say, you sound like a New Yorker. Well, not really. I didn't sound like a New Yorker, but they said I lost my accent or whatever. So, which one's true? I don't know. It was somewhere in the middle. And then when I went to graduate school, I had such a time because I had one professor who told me that my voice, like you know, you have a very good presence and whatever, but your voice is going to hold you back forever. It's too high pitched, not assertive enough, and you'll never go anywhere with that voice. And then the same year, I had an advisor tell me that my voice was very unique and was going to help me stand out and get jobs that other people weren't going to get. So who knows? I mean, come on. So I've heard it all, but because of my voice struggles, I had to take voice lessons. Well, and I'm not even going to get into my singing stuff because I'm a horrible singer. And but I did have to take voice lessons at one of my stations, and they helped me understand again kind of the science behind it and how to help. And it all comes down to relaxing your voice. And so that's why when you're nervous on camera, your vocal cords physically tighten. So when you think, you know, or you say you have a lump in your throat, it is actually true. It is, it's actually like a defense mechanism in your body that tightens your vocal cords and protects this area on your neck. So when that tightens, though, your voice naturally goes up in pitch, goes a little higher. And so if you're talking really high, sometimes that can give you away that those are nerves. But there are some ways that you can reduce that. And really it's all about reducing the stress or tension in your neck and even in your shoulders, which I didn't realize was really a thing. But when I took these voice lessons, it was all about, I carry a lot of tension in my neck and shoulders. And so it was a lot. I mean, I felt like I was going to like a massage every day I went to these voice lessons, because it was all about breathing and learning how to relax your vocal cords and relax your shoulders. And so if you want to, if voice is an issue for you, practice like rolling your neck, just like you're, starting an exercise class. Roll your neck around, stretch out your neck, roll your shoulders back and forth. Even do some of these kind of stretches. And then there are voice techniques that you can do too. One of them is trying to breathe through your diaphragm. And so put your hand on your belly and try to figure out how, when you breathe in, you make your diaphragm expand and breathe out. And so practice that. It's like a yoga thing, right? So you do that. You can also do, like, this sounds ridiculous, but that's what you do. So just try to breathe on your hand in front of you and go real deep there, So try that. And then another exercise that I learned was saying li, lie, lo, lum. I don't know why, and it sounds ridiculous too. But when you do that, that can help relax those vocal cords. Okay, number 2 is your eyes. And your eyes can say so much, but not exactly what you may think here. One way I can always tell when somebody is nervous on camera is because of their lack of blinking. And it's something you never think about. And now you're watching how much I blink, aren't you? But it's something you never think about. And it is something you should not think about, because then when you do, it starts looking awkward. And then you're trying to remember to blink. And it's one more thing to think about. And so I don't want you to think about blinking, but I do want you to be aware that that is sort of a nervous tic. So when you take these videos of yourself and then you watch them back, I want you to watch your eyes and see if you are blinking regularly. Try not to think about it, but it's something good to have in the back of your mind. And the way to get over that, it's like the deer in headlights look. And so a lot of people will not close their eyes because they're nervous they're going to miss something or say something wrong, and then they're staring at the camera. And so a lot of times when you see somebody on video and you think, gosh, they look awkward, but I can't really put my finger on why, watch their blinking. That's usually why they look really awkward. So that is another thing to think about. Some of those same exercises can help with that, because it's just about relaxing your face and relaxing your neck and your shoulders. And again, the more you do it, the more you're going to be able to be relaxed on camera. So that's something kind of to keep in mind. So the third thing I wanted to talk about, so we talked about your eyes and blinking, and we talked about your voice, which is huge. And then the third is just your overall body language. And so there are a couple different ways, if you know about body language techniques, that you can either have they can either close off your body or open your body to who you're talking to. And so one thing is your arms. You don't want to cross your arms or do anything that kind of shuts you off from your audience. You want to be open and keep your arms, even like when I was on the news anchor desk, a lot of times I'd put my hands even far apart just to make sure that my arms stayed there. And then another thing that you don't think about, that's as obvious, I guess, as your arms closing off your body, is that your chin. Sometimes you can look down like this, and that is a way of kind of closing off your body. And it all goes back to that science of protecting yourself when you're nervous, okay? But think about lifting your chin up a little bit, opening your arms, and it makes you look a lot more open to talking to people. And a question I get all the time when it comes to arms and body language: what do I do with my hands? Anybody have that question? There's a lot of people who ask me about that, and they never know what to do with their hands. Here's my answer for that. You'll notice, especially if you've seen me here today or in general, I'm a hand talker. So I use my hands to talk a lot. So my word of advice about using your hands is coming back at you with a question. Do you use your hands to talk in real life? Are you a hand talker? So if you are, like me, then you would use your hands when you're talking on camera, because it's natural. It's what you do. And so if I tried to sit on my hands and tried to not use my hands, it would probably make me feel a little uncomfortable. And maybe I would come across a little more stiff on camera. And that's because it's something that I am not used to doing. When I use my hands, I feel a lot more comfortable. I'm a lot more animated, and I can connect with my audience a lot better. So that's very difficult for me not to use my hands. Now, if you are not a hand talker, if you do not normally use your hands when you're talking to people in real life, don't try to use them when you're talking on camera, because I see a lot of people who are so awkward with how, like, they're so nervous about what to do with their hands that they try to kind of choreograph what they're going to do when they're saying a specific thing, and then they end up looking very awkward because they are trying to think about what to do with their hands. So that's my answer for that. Do with your hands what you do with your hands in real life, and however you are most comfortable talking in real life is how you will be most comfortable talking on camera. So it all goes back to your voice and your eyes and your body language. 3 major things that can give away that you are nervous on camera. And so you want to try to avoid those if you can. My comment is showing up on my phone, but yours are not. And I don't know why. So anyway, let me know if you have any questions or other comments. And I will be posting more of this. I do want you to try to do those videos this week. Try to do a video of yourself every day for 1 week. And I want you to see how much easier it gets Sunday than it is on Monday. And I guarantee that you will see a difference when you watch those back for yourself. So try to do that. I can't wait to hear how it goes, and we will see you here next week.